Hello, it's me, R.R. Lee, and this is the Shapiro Omen. For level 1 of this, we need to steal the vodka bottle that they are keeping in the safe in Diana's room, because they keep the good stuff locked away from everybody else that's partying downstairs. You know, you don't want to waste the expensive stuff when you have guests over, especially when they number in the couple of hundred. So we're going to take it for ourselves, or for whoever commissioned us to do this. Maybe Agent 47 developed the hobby of collecting vintage alcohol. Who can really say? But by distracting that guy, we can open this safe with the lockpick, and we'll be able to get it out before he turns around and leave.
Man, we're good.
Just like that, level 1 done. There are no cameras on the outside to see us, so we just have to jump over the balcony and down the pipe to the helicopter. And again, I've said it before, the helicopter is the easiest exit to get to for a lot of these missions. And a lot of people are seeing us as we're going by this because we are in our tuxedo. Helmut Kruger just got a little suspicious of us. We gotta just go from cover to cover and hope. Okay, good. He decided not to come over. That's level 1 done. 1 minute and 34 seconds, all 5 stars. He was beginning to get suspicious of us. He didn't see us fully. We could have been anything. And now for level 2, we have to kill somebody. Our first target, Sophia's Fatale.
I don't like this.
Again, that's probably French. A lot of these people's names are probably French since this is in Paris, but I don't know how you would pronounce that in another accent, in a French accent. Sophia's. What would be the French version of that, pronunciation-wise? I do not know. This guy definitely doesn't know because he is unconscious now. We are taking his outfit. It is the closest auction staff outfit and the only one of importance pretty much on this entire level for all of the other contracts that we've done, aside from the one that we had to pick up on the second floor. We can turn on the radio or the sink. Doesn't matter which, but we need to get him in this room now. We can't leave him in there because our target is going to come in with Diana. Gonna turn that off. And we're gonna take the vodka bottle out now to save a little bit of time, because I am going to do a time skip for this. I'm gonna take his gun and hide his body. And I'm going to skip ahead to when our target comes in, because he comes in with Diana. And it takes about a solid minute for him and her to both come in here. So I'll see you then. Alright, he's finally started to move and Diana's already in the room. So there's no one else that's going to come in. We're going to run the sink or turn on the radio, whichever you prefer, but I prefer the sink.
Not good, not good.
Because it's easier to see when he turns it off so that we can choke him out. He didn't even touch the handle, he just reached next to it. It's one of those infrared sinks that you've seen in many a retail establishment to save on water. I'd imagine the water bill is very high in such a large building like this, so they have to cut costs wherever they can. And they did that by using that infrared sink, because he just passed his hand next to the cold part of the faucet, and it turned off. Very eco-friendly of them. And now no one is suspicious of us since we're wearing an outfit. We could have worn the bodyguard's outfit from the guy that we choked out earlier in level 1, but I forgot to do that. Feel free to do that yourself when you decide to do this. I entirely forgot. And now Sophia's Fatale is fataled. auction staff can see through the auction staff disguise. For this level of complication, for level 3s of the auction staff seeing through our disguise, it doesn't matter because this is the only auction staff that we will be coming across for all 5 levels. Sorry for the spoiler, but everything takes place where we already are now. So we're not going to be coming across anyone else. We're not going to see anyone else in their underwear aside from this guy and one of the bodyguards in the bathroom. You know, where it's appropriate to take their clothes off instead of that guy who we just left very naked in the attic, just getting dust and cobwebs all over his body. He is not going to be happy when he wakes up. I highly doubt that they keep a spare change of clothes for anyone else here other than the kitchen staff who have their lockers in the basement. Everybody else, they just come in with what they got, and Agent 47 takes all of it, aside from the boxers, like with that guy. But we're going to be doing the same thing as level 2. We're going to take the vodka bottle. Saves time to do it now because I am going to be fast forwarding another minute here because it is going to be a minute. I checked. It is going to be a solid minute before Diana and the target come in. So I'll see you then. He's on the move. Gonna run the sink now. He's not even gonna get to walk past the door. He's going to get close to it, see? And he's gonna come right on in. You really ought to check that out. There we go. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Thank you for saving water. I'm glad that you care about the environment. And while you may not know this, fun fact for the environment, the most eco-friendly thing that anything can do that isn't a plant is die. So that guy who was an advocate for the infrared sinks to save water for this building, I'm sure was happy to die in order to help the environment. That's what I'd like to believe. It helps Agent 47 sleep a little better, at least when I'm playing as him. Otherwise, what a poor sod to die in such a way. For just turning off a sink that really set Agent 47 off. And off we go on the helicopter. 337, 5-star, silent assassin. Level 4, Martha Harris. I'll point her out when we get to her. And for her, we need to make her go to the bathroom. If you're wondering why using the endemic syringe aside from the lethal syringe, it is mainly because I think that it is easier to do this because either way, or how we do this, an injection is going to kill her, whether she comes to the bathroom where we are so that we can kill her where no one can see her, or if we do it out in the open, it is the same, except auction staff is not allowed in the area that we need to go in order to stab her in the back with this needle. So bringing her to the bathroom is a lot easier. We're gonna choke this guy out, and we're going to take his clothes this time because we're going to need his disguise in order to use the endemic syringe. Because again, auction staff is not allowed where we need to go. And I'm going to set that up now. Run through here, bump into her. I really don't think that it gets her to move any faster, but I do it anyway. and we also pick up the safe key that is on the desk. That's why we don't need a lockpick anymore. See this guy following me with his eyes?
Hello, sir. Have a lovely
There's
day.
him, 2 bodyguards on the other side of that door, and then a fourth one in the corner on the other side of the wall. We need to distract all of them, and to do that I'm going to open the door and drop a coin here on this weapon. They should all be turned around. He's turned around. The other 3 should be turned around so we can inject her. And we have to be directly behind her when we press square, or Agent 47, the equal rights feminist, will give her an equal left or an equal right to the face. And that is not very stealthy, and is in fact very noisy and will not kill her in one hit. Even though he is a trained assassin, punching her in the face does not kill her fast enough for us to get away unnoticed. So we have to make sure that we're directly behind her because she likes to pace back and forth. And now that she's here, she cannot pace. She can only stay in place as we drown her in this very clean toilet. At least I'd like to imagine that it is very clean, since this seems to be the penthouse suite. If it wasn't clean, I would definitely be lodging a complaint if it were my room. Agent 47's whole job is to go about unnoticed, so I don't think that he will. Well, he could lodge it as Tobias Reaper. Say there were some streaks in the toilet, so unprofessional, they should comp his room stay. And there's our first target. The door doesn't want to close. I pressed the button to close it and decided to leave it alone because it didn't want to close, but alright. I'll take this disguise and the vodka bottle. If you wouldn't run to the door, thank you. We used the key to open it because we changed our lockpick for the endemic syringe, and we can leave now. That's this level done. And I have to say that Harris, what was her name again? Amelia Harris, is that her name? Is the most difficult part about this, mainly because she paces around and because of all of the bodyguards around her. We can alternatively wait for Diana to come and talk to her, and then she'll leave to go somewhere else. But that takes way too long, so better to take the risk because it saves like a solid 2 or 3 minutes, because then we would have to use the laptop dongle in order to do that, and that just takes way too long. Now for this final level, we have to hide the bodies in 1.5 minutes, and that is also why we are bringing the endemic syringe instead of the lethal syringe, because the NPCs bagging the body and bringing it away does not count as hiding the body, because, hear me out on this, they found it. In fact, it is in their possession, which is the opposite of what we want to happen, so that's why we have to bring the endemic syringe. And we're going to be doing everything the same as level 4. It's just if everything will work out that way, because Amelia, Miss Harris, is the biggest variable in this. We're going to choke him out, take his belongings after we turn the radio off. Do I want... No. I'll drag him over here instead, because I need a full closet in there. I almost forgot after saying that we had to hide the bodies. I need to hide his body over here so that there is space for our 2 targets in that one. I could drag one of them to that closet, but Diana may come into the room. Well, no, she wouldn't be coming into the room after she leaves. More of a convenience thing, and it saves time. And there is the 4th bodyguard right there. You see 2 at the wall, well, 2 at the doors, one right there against the wall, one right there on the balcony. Those are our 4 that
Have a
we
lovely
need to
day.
distract with this gun that we are going to drop on the ground and with this coin that we are going to throw by opening this door. Because that guy is out there and those 3 are in there. They both have open doors. Thank you. I thought I was about to punch her in the face. Thank you. Those 3 in there can hear it because we opened the door. If we don't open the door to that hallway, then those 3 will not hear it. The one next to the balcony that's already open may turn around, but I think from having the other 2 turn around, it makes him feel left out and he wants to turn around too. I don't know. I don't understand some of these things. Again, this game has Hitman logic, like with the Seek where you can throw something on level 1, well, on ground level, and he'll hear it from the 2nd floor and come down. Meanwhile, the guards all around can hear something and some of them won't turn around even though they are in the vicinity of hearing it. It's kind of weird. I really don't understand how it works, but dropping the gun there and dropping the coin in that same spot as we did for level 4, like we did just now for this level, seems to work. The biggest issue again is just getting directly behind her to inject her with the syringe.
Damn it.
So long as you drop the gun and the coin in around that spot, just make sure that you're behind her and it should go fine. That is the biggest issue that I had doing this because I do all of these escalations up to level 5 and then I reset the escalation before completing level 5 so that I can try and get all of this in one take. Again, try to get it all in one take, and that seems to be the best way of doing Harris. Just dropping the gun, dropping the coin, and then making sure that we are directly behind her. Because if you remember from level 4, she was standing in a different position, and I was using the assistant that is in the computer room where we get the safe key as a timer, and she was in a different position twice. So it's finicky. But it's done. We got our picture for the Shapiro Omen, and we did it in 4 minutes and 30 seconds, which is longer than the last one, so I guess that's why she was in a different spot. But oh yes, that's true, because I dragged the body. I have to keep dragging the body into the other closet to save time. That's why. But it took longer, so that doesn't make sense. I don't understand why this happens. But I'd like to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you'll enjoy the next one as well. Goodbye.